I wake to the sound of surf. Nothing to see in all directions but the level sea. I'm sitting on a tall aluminum chair, lifeguard-like. I climb down to a tumble of jerry cans and boxes on the sand, drinking water, matches, fish hooks, line, and a case of Spam stamped Army Surplus, and a letter with my name misspelled.
Comrade, by now you must be wondering where you are, how you got here, and why. You've been selected for a vital task. For far too long, China's sovereignty over the South China Sea, all its islands, atolls, rocks, reefs, and shoals, has been disputed by upstart neighbor states. Vietnam, the Philippines, even lowly Brunei have asserted claims on these barren, uninhabited places, and any oil reserves that lie beneath. The People's Republic has been patient, but now the UN Conference on the Law of the Sea, the machinations of the Seventh Fleet, those running dogs, and domestic considerations make it urgent to perfect our case. Possession being 9/10 of the law, we have determined to found a colony. A colony requires a colonist, and that's where you come in, a colonist with evidence of permanent residence. We needed a turnkey citizen, someone without attachments who would not be missed. We found you passed out in the transit lounge at Shanghai Airport, your face in a bowl of soba. Your papers said no living relatives. On the spot, we decided you would do. You'll never be a true Chinese, of course, but we've made you an honorary citizen, the South China Sea's first colonist. Your mission starts today. Raise our flag, take selfies cheering and saluting it, plant the seeds from our supplies, the beans, the corn, the cabbages, a victory garden. Keep a daily journal of your exploits, make it patriotic and persuasive. Your place in history is guaranteed. You'll be valorized, eternalized. Tempus fugit, comrade. Now get to work.
Day 1. The South China Sea, tectonic tears of the earth sprinkled with casts from the sower's hand. Out of the throat of a caldera's collapse, my atoll makes a mouth, an anguished O. It takes an hour to walk the surf's surround. Grounded wrecks, surf-eaten from within, present their bowsprits, the reef as taxidermist. Says the coral, we build on the skeletons of elders, rise from the deep, wait for ships to lose their bearings and the sound of surf improperly near. We hear the graveyard watch, their shouts, then the slam, the fragility of steel on our unreckoned fact. Some drown, some swim. We razor survivors' naked souls. Day 2. Bowl in hand, I scavenge beach debris, pick for orts through mounds of ruckled gunk. Fish heads, seaweed, bird bones, vacated shells. It doesn't help to be omnivorous here. I stalk blowholes, try tidal pools, busy as a blender on Saturday night. The black and neon sergeant majors, too quick for me, nibble coral, shit sand. Day 3. Between the dead and the quick, I have more luck. The black anger of a hooked cod, a turtle in a consternation of bubbles, the toasted lozenge of a sea cucumber. I make slumgullion, a can of Spam, add the corn, the beans, the cabbage sprouts they left for me to grow a garden with. Day 11. Life here moves according to the moon, each night waxing more, reaching for the rendezvous. Full and perigee, it nods. Yes, tonight, tonight's the night. Crabs emerge tantivy from the surf, a shellback army summoned for the spawn. I step back from the swarm, climb my perch. In the melee below, I can't distinguish the reproductive grip of claws on claws from the mortal grip of claws on rival claws. At dawn, the gravid and crippled crawl for the tide. Club in hand, I collect my evening meal. Day 20. Days, clone days. The sun's formative fury burns me shades of sherry, lobster bisque. My starveling stomach's taut as a drum. I eke. Lacking options, the body feeds on itself. Fat first, as it should, then muscle down to a core, surviving just because. Existence is not enoughness. There's more to life than this, I say to no one in particular. Day 21. Birds have left without a song. Morning light looks yellow and wrong. Bring what you must, I tell monsoon. Anything except typhoon. I am come, typhoon replies. Thunderstorms devour your skies. Lightning plays its brisk staccato over thunder's obligato. Atoll's unprotected face cannot hide from my embrace. Combers grow gargantuan, bury the reef again. Palm trees buckle in gale force winds. Earth revisits its origins. Islands tremble in the shock. Continental plates undock. Chaos with a long release unmakes planet piece by piece. The surf recedes to its monotony. The reef gets on with its 10,000 years. Tower gone, food and water gone, I lay me down. Time to study how to will the beating of a heart to cease. Crabs gather, gulls and boobies gather, a shrinking circle of the famished drawn to the savage honey of a stricken man. Delirious, I hallucinate, see a mirage, a life raft in the shallows. A man crawls out, totters to where I lie. Are you alive, he asks. Are you? I was standing lookout when a wave big as a house carried me overboard with everything, the life raft too. I'm Scobrack, sonarman from the destroyer Warrington. He gives me water, rations from his raft. Orphans of the storm, we beach the boat, right the tower, unload survival gear, K-rations, fishing tackle, signal mirror, a very pistol and a dozen flares, one whistle, and one American flag. That afternoon, we spot a plane. It sees us, flies in for a look. Frantically, we fire a flare, activate the beacon. It makes a low pass, wiggles its wings in reply. We raise the American flag upside down. It makes repeated passes, then flies off. That night we celebrate with chocolate bars. Next day, more planes come boring in. All day we wait. Then at dusk, two ships appear, coming fast from opposite directions. They hove to off our atoll, a mile apart. We tune the shortwave radio to hear how the rescue will proceed.
American ship, identify yourself.
This is USS Warrington. Identify yourself.
Destroyer Qin Shi Huang, you are here without permission or authority in territories of the PRC. Clear this area immediately.
We do not recognize your claim. These are international waters, opened by treaty under freedom of the sea.
Repeat, clear this area immediately.
We are here on a rescue operation. We hear the radio beacon loud and clear. Do not interfere with the 7th Fleet.
Capitalist dogs, you lie. Your flag now flies above our colony. We have the photos. You are invaders. You have seized an outpost on our lands and raised the stars and stripes.
With twilight closing in, more ships arrive. Gray hulls of the 7th Fleet, gray hulls of the Chinese coastal fleet. Opposing columns make ready to engage. Ships swing, unmasking batteries, bringing torpedo tubes to bear. From circling planes, flares and float lights drop. Thin white cones of searchlights probe where ships show battle lights, green over white over green. The ocean glistens with a delicate sheen. Each side claims the other fired first. In the soft dark, sudden muzzle flashes, tracers arching orange across the sky, star shells falling terrible and red, like the gates of hell opening, closing. One turns, all ahead flank, hard right rudder, and combs the wakes of a spread of torpedoes. One registers the sullen glow of hits. A massive explosion in her magazines blossoms skyward, engulfs her broken bow. Then firing ceases, sudden as it began. Daybreak. Flotsam where a ship went down. Frothing waters dotted with bobbing heads. Ships and sharks converge, contend if these be souls to save or helpless bait. Ptolemy would have recognized the scene. Two men on an atoll sit for days, the unmoving center of a universe of ships, poised as the gods of war look on. Enter diplomacy. At noon sharp, two boats lower and depart their ships. Armed sailors land them on the beach. One takes Scobrak back to Warrington. The other takes me to the Chinese fleet. This UN conference on the law of the sea has been convened to adjudicate the claim of China to the South China Sea with all attendant islands, atolls, reefs. The disputants have made their closing statements. Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Taiwan, and Brunei. The United States has moved to reject its claim and condemn its recent unprovoked attack. Before the vote, we'll hear from the PRC.
I am Colonel G. My government has charged me to present our final statement. Our case, you know already, is compelling, but one thing makes it incontestable. My country alone among the disputants has established a permanent colony on an island in the China Sea. Since possession is 9/10 of the law, our sovereignty is indisputable. Our flag now flies above a settlement where gardens of beans, corn, cabbages are flourishing. But please don't take my word. Here to offer witness is our founding colonist, the living proof. Comrade?
I should clarify my friendship with Colonel G. I'm not a citizen of the PRC. Changing planes in Shanghai, I ate a bowl of soba and blacked out at security. I was drugged, kidnapped, threatened, shanghaied. I woke on an atoll at the end of the world. I had shipwrecked ghosts for company. I fought the gulls and boobies for their fish. There are no gardens. I ate the beans, the corn, the cabbage sprouts. Oh, and a case of Spam.
This is regrettable, and none of it true. A U.S. warship tried to seize our colony, a flagrant challenge to our sovereignty. They even raised their flag. We have the photos.
It's true we raised the flag, but upside down, the international signal of distress. China wants another inch of map, but nothing there belongs to humankind. That place already has been colonized. The CCP will merely ape the crabs. Despite panjandrum edicts and demands, undocumented winds blow where they will. Endless lines of surf without a censor have their say. Out there, nature makes the only laws, the only sovereignty, the plus nothing of the open surge.
Those running dogs in Beijing put me here, their scapegoat for the UN conference vote. But I will not despair. I am G, the star of state surveillance, soon to be master of the South China Sea. To plan my return, a long walk on the beach will do me good, will concentrate my mind. The moon is full and so large tonight, it must be very near. But what's that in the surf? Crabs? Millions of them. An army of crabs crawling up the beach. They're on my feet.